Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome back to the 21-22 school year. It is wonderful to be able to see you all here live and in person. I asked your advisors for just a few minutes, about 8 or 9 minutes this morning, to do a quick review of our safety protocols within the building, and then they could have a short discussion with you, after that, and make sure we're all on the same page as we begin the year together. And like many of you, I'm sure we all were really hopeful that most, if not all, of the kinds of efforts that we had to use last year would be gone this year. But unfortunately, we continue to struggle with this virus in many different places. So we have to continue to do some things, but we're not going to have to do as many things as we did last year. So I think that's a positive and something to be optimistic about. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll go ahead and start. And again, these are just reminders for many of you. If you were here all year in person, you're going to recognize a lot of these procedures. If you were remote all year last year, this is new for you, but we try to keep them as simple as possible. And even if you came in maybe that last day of school, way back in May, you saw some of these things in action as well. So the first one is, and everybody knows it, we've all talked about it. It's a mandate. It's something we all have to do, and that's we have to wear a mask when we're in school. The only times that when you're in school that you don't need a mask on is when you're eating your lunch at your desk, or if you are outside and we're in an activity that we can space out, say 3 feet or so apart, and do so safely. You can remove your masks when you're outside, but when you're inside, unless you're eating lunch at your desk, you need to have that mask on. And if you ever need to do something like blow your nose, or you feel like you're coughing, or you need to get a drink of water, ask for permission from your teacher, and you can either step out into the hallway to maybe blow your nose or get that cough out, or maybe take a quick drink of water in the classroom. But otherwise, we know it. Everyone's got to wear the mask, and remember, you got to wear it properly. So that means over your nose, to your chin, tight to your sides or your cheeks. You can't wear masks like this. Can't wear them down here like a mask beard. They got to be up here, okay, for them to do the job that they're doing. And remember, it's not just about you protecting yourself. It's also about protecting others from something that possibly, you may be carrying as well. So it's for everyone involved to make sure that these masks are worn appropriately. Make sure you bring a couple of them, have some spares, because we know these cords sometimes break, or something happens, or you just need a new one. So we also have extras here, so don't worry if you don't have one. But remember, everyone's wearing a mask all the time inside. During passing periods, we want you to travel again this year directly to your next class. So that means we don't want any stopping in the hallway, water fountains, bottle fillers, stopping for the bathroom, or to talk with a couple of friends or something like that. We need you to move to that next class and get there. We need you to, again, stay to the right of the hallway, and as much as possible, stay 3 or more feet from the person either in front or behind you. And if you come up on a classroom that's filled or still has kids in it, and you need to wait, then just space yourselves out in the hallway and wait for that teacher to dismiss them, and then you can go in. The stairwells, both of them are upward moving at the beginning of the day. So depending on where you come in the building, you can use the stairwell to go up. At the end of the day, both stairwells go down. And then during the day, the stairwell closest to the southwest portion of the building, which is by the 8th grade entrance, that's always an up staircase. And the one closest to the band room, orchestra room, cafeteria, that's always a down staircase during the day. Bathrooms, again, we're going to ask you to kind of minimize the number of people that are in them at one time. There are signs on the outside of the doors. Usually we'll either say 3 people max or 2. So we need you to follow that. And if you come up on a bathroom and you're going in and there's more than the number that's supposed to be in there, please step out and wait for someone to leave and then go in. Make sure, of course, we're washing our hands and doing all those kinds of things that we need to do. And remember, we're not going to be using the bathrooms during passing periods. We're going to be going to class and then asking our teachers for permission to use the bathroom if you need to. If you need to step out of the classroom, maybe to blow your nose or cough, or maybe even take a drink of water, again, just ask your teacher to do that. Head out into the hallway, make it a short visit, do what you need to do. If you need to blow your nose or whatever, make sure you throw your tissue paper, Kleenex in the garbage can, and then either Purell or wash your hands as you come back in. Taking a drink of water in the classroom is okay if you just, lower your mask for a quick second, take the drink, put your mask back on, you should be fine. Distancing in the hallway and anywhere else in the building. Again, we're always striving for at least 3 feet this year, 6 feet if we possibly can, and wherever and whenever it's possible. Now, that means, though, sometimes it may not be possible in a classroom to be less than 3 feet, but we really want you to focus on that distance, and we'll remind you of that. We'll tell you things like, hey, we need you to spread out a little bit. We don't want you on top of each other. And again, we're just doing that to make sure that we are helping prevent any kind of spread within the building. And if you're in line, going somewhere, maybe the lunchroom, or you're coming into the building, make sure that you're giving some distance both in front and behind you. And remember that when we come into the building, we're going to utilize those tiger paws again this year. So look on the ground. There are tiger paws spaced out. As you come into the building, you'll use those to keep your spacing. And this year we are not taking temperatures or requiring the daily MyMedBot check. So you'll come into the building much more quickly this year. And then we want you to head directly to first period. Remember that everybody's different. Everybody has different feelings about the pandemic. Everyone is at a different level of comfort right now about coming back to school in person. And so remember, your actions should never minimize the feelings of someone else. You need to be respectful of each other. Some of you may feel very confident. You may be vaccinated. You may just feel very confident that you're doing all the right things and you're not going to catch the virus. Others of you may still be very nervous and anxious about it. And we have to just make sure that we accept that everyone's at their own place and, be respectful of that and treat each other with dignity and make sure that we can all work together to keep everyone feeling safe and comfortable here at the school. And remember, it's okay if you're feeling uncomfortable and you need to tell somebody, hey, you're too close to me, or, there's nothing wrong with it. You just politely can address that and say, hey, you're awful close to me. Would you mind taking a step back? Or maybe you take a step back. But again, let's all be mindful that everyone is at a different place and has different feelings about being all together. And while we're all excited to be here, some of us are a little more nervous about it than others. So let's be respectful of each other when we're here at school. As far as your health goes, remember, if you're not feeling good, you need to stay home. And if you have symptoms, definitely stay home. And if you need to be absent, first and foremost, we need you to get better. We need your family to call the school so they can let us know and maybe talk to one of our nursing staff. And then make sure you keep up with your work on Google Classroom and maybe checking in with a classmate to help you stay on top of things. But again, we want you to get better, and we want to make sure that if you have symptoms that you're staying home until we can verify that you're okay. Again, outside, we talked about this. Again, masks for the most part can come off outside. We just need to keep that spacing at 3 feet, and we want to make sure that we're safe out there as well. But again, for the most part, when you're outside, when you leave the building, you can take your mask off. It's just a matter of making sure that you space out and you continue to do that. And then the dismissal time at the end of the day, remember that both of those stairwells upstairs are going to be down staircases. We're going to stagger dismissal by 7th, 1st, and then 8th grade. Or we may do it by classrooms. We'll probably mix it up a little bit. And then, you'll leave the building staying to the right. The buses will be back by the tennis courts. Use any other door to exit the building. And then when you're outside, we need you to head home, stay safe, keep your distance as you're walking home. And if you're a bus rider, make sure that that mask stays on for the entire ride. And that's about it. You can have a few minutes to talk with your advisors and ask some questions. We know you're going to do a great job, an amazing job, just like you did last year. We are so proud of all of you. Those of you that are 8th graders this year, and I know all of you as 6th graders did an amazing job in your elementary building last year. So we're looking forward to a great year, a safe year, and hopefully things will get better and we'll be able to do even more and remove even more of these mitigations as the year goes on. So if we all do our part, that's what'll happen. So thanks for your attention. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day. And if you see me in the hallway and you have any questions, please let me know.